Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody slept well. We were just together not that long ago. We did a Facebook Live last night and unboxed the Sweet Magnolia Magical Mystery Bead Box from Jesse James Beads. That was the July box. We unboxed that last night and put together a really beautiful necklace. And I promised you guys last night that we would get right back together again this morning and put together another fun piece of jewelry using the beads from the July Magical Mystery Bead Box because it's such a good one. It's such a good one. If you missed last night's unboxing, you missed out on seeing an absolutely gorgeous box. But the good news is that there are plenty of beads and goodies left over from our necklace that we made last night. So we've got lots to work with today. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Betty. Good morning, Tina. I'm so glad to see you guys here. Whew, coffee hasn't quite kicked in yet, so I'm not quite like up here where I normally am, but today is going to be a good day. I already know that for sure. Today is going to be a good day. The sun is shining and I don't think we have much rain in the forecast today, so it'll be a good day. So how are you guys doing? Did everybody get good sleep last night? I feel like we literally just left each other just long enough to like take a nap and, you know, recharge a little bit, change our clothes maybe, and then get back together. Good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to see you guys again. So you guys, I got a couple of little housekeeping things before we get to our project today. First and foremost, I want to remind you about the Jesse James Beads Summer Camp. We've only got 50 spots left. That's like this many. I know in the scheme of things, 50 might sound like a lot, but in reality, compared to all of the spaces that we filled, 50 is this many. And you guys, today is the 6th. You have until August 10th to sign up for our staycation, if you will. The Jesse James Beads Summer Camp includes nine exclusive classes that are just exclusive. These are not going to be Facebook streamed to everybody. These are going to stay within the summer camp group, which has been created on Facebook. So as soon as you sign up for your box of goodies to come your way, you will also be invited to join the group. That's where all of the tutorials are going to happen. We're going to have lots of fun. So if you have not signed up yet, you've got to get on the ball because, like I said, it's the 6th today and you only have until the 10th. So if you're still kind of like, I don't know, maybe not, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. We're going to have so much fun and it is going to kind of take the place of all of the bead shows that are not happening this year. We're all staying home. So we've got this staycation and virtual summer camp that is happening. 9 classes. That's a lot of classes. That's probably more classes than you would have signed up for had you gone to Bead Fest this year if Bead Fest had happened. So that's a lot. You're going to get 9 classes. That's not just with me. You're going to get classes with me, Meredith Roddy, Wyatt White, and Nilay Patel, like the lineup of your camp counselors. First of all, that's a whole big old list of troublemakers. And second of all, it is a lineup of such good friends. So I can't wait for us all to get together. And of course, Sarah James, she is included as well. We're going to have a blast. We're going to put together some gorgeous jewelry. You guys are going to get an amazing array of things to create all of the projects in these 9 classes. And I believe I saw Danielle just log in, you guys. Danielle is here under Jesse James Beads. She is like a powerhouse on the Jesse James Beads team. She's here today dropping links and letting everybody, you know what's going on with Jesse James Beads. So first say hello to Danielle. But Danielle, I just wanted to check with you to see, I think that the bags were delivered today or are being delivered today to the warehouse, which is awesome. So you're going to get a 10 by 10 pouch, you guys, and that is going to hold all of your goodies for all of the classes. So you're not only going to get 9 classes, but you're also going to get a ton of stuff, right, to create everything. You're going to get a whole bunch of beads from Jesse James Beads. You're going to get some beads. You're going to get some wire. You're going to get some silver silk. And a lot of these items are exclusive. The silver silk in particular is exclusive to the JJB summer camp. So just so you know, it's exclusive. It's like, I don't know. I'm excited. I am so excited. I cannot wait. And I will be participating in every single one of the classes. So I'm teaching classes, but the ones that I'm not teaching, I'll be there. I will be there playing with everybody else. So just want you guys to know, I keep talking about it, but I can't help it. I'm excited. And 50 spots to fill, that's not a lot. So if you still haven't made up your mind, now is the time to do that. Not only because it's going to be a whole lot of fun, but because one of the weekly deals this week is free shipping on a $139 cart, and there is no code needed for that. And that includes your summer camp. And that's a lot of goodies coming your way. So definitely take advantage of that free shipping, because I don't even want to know what the shipping is. I mean, it's not going to be like out of this world expensive, but I mean, who doesn't want to take advantage of the free shipping for that, right? So speaking of weekly deals, there are 2 more to talk about. We've got buy 3, get 1 free on all chain, and the code for that is B3G1 chain. There are no spaces there. And chain is just one of those things that Jesse James Beads does, and does really, really well. So we're talking chain reaction. We're talking about all of the chain. If you have not shopped on the Jesse James Beads chain in a while and you haven't checked out what's there, definitely go do that, because there is some chain there that you can't find anywhere else. Just some really gorgeous things that definitely complement all of the Jesse James Beads. So know that it is picked out, hand selected chain that is just great quality. So I'm excited about that. And our third and final weekly deal is $10 off your Magical Mystery Bead Box subscriptions, and the code for that is mystery. So if you have not yet subscribed to the Magical Mystery Bead Box and you need that extra little push to make the plunge and sign up, definitely take advantage of the $10 off. That is a great coupon. I'm telling you, that's a great coupon. And this box that we played with last night, we unboxed it, and that we are going to play with again today, is a really good representation of the quality and the gorgeousness that is all of the Magical Mystery Bead Boxes. So you guys, if you've not done the Magical Mystery Bead Boxes, what are you waiting for? I mean, it's so much fun to get a box in the mail. And you know, the bead team, they nail it every single month. There's always a theme, and it's cohesive, and it just is so inspiring and so beautiful. It's so much fun. So, all right. I feel like there's something else I need to tell you guys. Oh, there is. There are 2 things I need to tell you guys. So, the 2 things I need to tell you. First, before I get to those 2 things, Danielle just posted, this is a really good reminder for you guys. So Magical Mystery Bead Box signups for the August box is the 7th. So you've got all day tomorrow and all day today and all day tomorrow to sign up if you want the August box to be your first subscription box to come to you. If you sign up after the 7th of August, then your first subscription box is going to be the September box. So just keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind, because there's a time gap there, and that's just kind of that in-between time that happens because of how they create the boxes and then ship the boxes and the time in between there. So don't be discouraged if you don't sign up until after the 7th, but you don't get a box until September. So just keep that in mind. If you don't sign up now, just a friendly reminder to you guys. So the 2 things left to tell you guys are also exciting, fun things. So one is that at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Sarah James and Meredith Roddy are doing a very special Facebook Live. So be sure to keep an eye out, set a reminder for that. They're going to be talking about the Jesse James Bead Summer Camp. They're going to be talking about Meredith's past experiences as an actual camp counselor, which I can't wait to hear about. And last but not least, we're having an extra Facebook Live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with a new bead mix from the California Road Trip series. So you guys may remember last week, Grass Valley came out. That Design Elements bead mix, absolutely gorgeous. The earrings that I am wearing, we created with those beads. Yes. Awesome. We also did a necklace as well. But tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we are doing another Facebook Live, just an extra, end the week on a high note with an extra Facebook Live, and we will have another bead mix from the California Road Trip to open, take a look at, and make a piece of jewelry out of. So definitely set your reminders for that as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got lots of extra things going on, and you guys, it just keeps on getting good. I don't even know what's coming up next week, but I know it's good stuff. Right? We've only got like 1 week in between there before summer camp starts, and there's so many fun things on the schedule for you guys. So happy to have you here. All right, so let's talk about today and what we're doing today. So last night for our Facebook Live, we unboxed the Magical Mystery Bead Box from July. I have the box. It is now empty, but just want to show it to you guys so you guys know what the box looks like when it comes in the mail. You can't miss it with this awesome sticker on it. If you missed last night's unboxing, you definitely can check out the replay on that. But first, let's put together another project. So this is what we created last night. We put together a really beautiful, just simple stringing necklace with some of the most gorgeous beads ever, right? Some of these beads are just phenomenal. All of them are gorgeous, but there are some showstoppers in this box. So we put together an entire necklace, but we still have so many goodies left over. I thought it would be fun to put together another project using what is left over. So, and believe it or not, we will have even more left over. Even after today's necklace, we'll still have beads left over. That's the joy of the Magical Mystery Bead Box. Like, there is so much there that you can make a million designs. Well, maybe not a million, but I mean, I exaggerate. You guys know. So I told you last night we were going to keep it easy and fun today, and I promised to keep my word. We're going to keep it easy and fun. We're actually going to do some knotting, just some overhand knotting, and create a fun necklace. I've pulled some cord. This cord is available over on the website. This is called Kansa. It's a very metallic, beautiful leather cord in a very small size. So we're going to use this. We're just going to knot in between some beads, and then we are going to do a square knot to make it an adjustable necklace, which is fun. So you can do this as a necklace or you can do it as a bracelet. All right, so I feel like I've chatted enough. Let's get down to it and let's start making something. The first thing we're going to do is kind of look at what's left over from last night, because there's still a ton of stuff to work with, you guys. Got a ton. So in the Magical Mystery Bead Box, we had a metal mix, and we used some of it last night. We used some of the bead caps, we used one of the clasps, and we used some of the butterflies. One of the butterflies from the metal mix and from the mix of beads. These are the beads that are left over from our necklace. Okay, so we've got all of this gorgeousness to work with. We've got this strand. This is actually where we're going to start with our necklace for today. There is cup chain. There are chain reaction chains, which are one of my very favorite things to get once a month. I love it. Always happy to have that. And then we had our Sugar Magnolia mini mix, which we used a lot of last night, but this is what's left over. So we still have plenty of beads to work with and a handful of tassels, which are absolutely gorgeous as well. Now, we're not going to use everything here. I'm not going to be using the tassels or any of the mini mix or the chains, but that just means that I have stuff left over for another design, right? I got stuff left over for another day. These guys were included, as well as that long wooden bead that was the centerpiece of our necklace last night. I'm so in love with this whole wooden bead mix that was included. I love big statement beads, and these are so lightweight because they're made out of wood. I love that. I love when a bead is just large and in charge, but it's not going to give me a headache to wear it. You know what I mean? All right, so what are we going to create? Well, we're just going to do some simple knotting. We're actually going to start with our strand and kind of work our way out. So we're going to start in the middle of our piece and work our way outwards. So I am going to go ahead and cut the end of my strand so that my beads I can get to, okay? And I'm going to use a piece of this gorgeous leather cord. So I feel like this metallic leather cord is just a really good complement to the colors that are going on here, but there are several colors of this really small leather cord over on the website. So if this color doesn't speak to you, there are others for sure. I love it though because it's nice and small, so it fits in all of the beads, which is kind of hard to find when it comes to leather. All right, so I'm just using some long pieces here. I think this is 2 3-foot sections. I really don't know the measurements, and I have misplaced my weird ruler, so I can't tell you for sure what it is, but we are going to take these 2 long pieces and kind of keep them together. We're going to start in the middle. So I'm just going to kind of bring my ends together and find what is the middle and kind of pinch that with my fingers. So I want to off center just a little bit because I want beads to be in the center. So I'm kind of grabbing a section like this. I've got about, 2.5, 3 inches between my fingers. Anita says, what size is the cord? This is 0.5 millimeter leather cord. So it's pretty small for leather. All right, I'm going to come, and like I said, we're starting in the middle and kind of working our way out. I'm coming over here to one side, and I'm just going to take the 2 strands and create an overhanded knot. And I'm kind of doing this backwards with my left hand, but it's no different than if you were doing it the correct way, I shall say. I'm just tying a knot, okay? This is off center from the middle of the 2 strands. And that's all we're going to be doing, is just creating some overhanded knots. But in between all those knots, we want to put some of these gorgeous beads. So we're going to build from the center out. So we're going to start with our middle beads and then kind of build to the left and to the right. I don't want it to be perfectly symmetrical, and we're going to do this twice so that we actually have a double strand necklace, okay? So I'm just going to separate these 2 cords where I have tied a knot. Let me adjust the light just a tiny, tiny bit. I want you guys to be able to see for sure. Okay, so I'm going to take one of the strands and I'm going to thread on some of my beads. Now remember, this is the middle of the necklace, so I want the beads that I really want to show off to be right here in the middle. So on one of these strands, I'm going to thread on this gorgeous boho bead with the mother of pearl chips on it. I'm going to thread that one on to one of those strands. And then on the other strand down here, okay, I'm just going to do the 1 bead on that strand, but on this second strand, I want to thread on like some smaller beads. So we're going to do a mix of our larger beads and some of our smaller beads just to kind of bring all of the colors together. So I think I'm going to thread on 2 of these little galaxy beads from the mix. Just these 2 beautiful brown. Look at the sparkle on those. I love galaxy beads. Those are some of my favorites. All right, so we've got 3 beads here, and they're going to move around. I'm not super concerned with the placement of these. I fully expect them to move around, but that's the fun part of this kind of necklace, is because it is going to have lots of movement to it, which just brings extra shimmer and shine and sparkle to it. So now I'm just going to tie an overhanded knot. You can make this little section of your beads as tight or as loose as you want it to be. That's completely up to you. The looser the section is going to be, the more movement obviously your beads are going to have. And I'm just tying an overhanded knot. So that's going to be our little centerpiece for our necklace. And now I'm going to do a section over here on the right, and then we'll do a section over on the left. So for our section on the right, on this bottom strand, I'm going to add this gorgeous green from our necklace, or from our strand rather, okay? And then on the other strand, I'm gonna add, let's see, what should I add to this one? I wanna add, let's do more green. So this is kind of an olive green. This one was on the strand. And then let's thread on one of the bicones from the mix. So got a little bit of everything. All right, bring all that down, and let's tie another overhanded knot. So basically this is going to be the way that the necklace is put together. This is relatively simple to do. It's really just all about selecting your beads and, you know, creating whatever design you want. And the real technique to this is going to happen at the end, where we make this an adjustable style of necklace. So here in the beginning, the only thing you really need is just to be able to create an overhanded knot. All right, so on the other side, I'm going to thread on one of these gorgeous green bohos. And you can make your design symmetrical if you want to. There are doubles of almost all of these beads, so you definitely won't have a hard time doing that. But if you're going to do a double strand, like I'm hoping that we do, taking a second to get that leather cord through the, if you're going to do a double strand, you are not going to be able to make all of the strands exactly the same, so just keep that in mind. The hole on this boho bead is large, and I've got this really small cord. I'm trying to, there we go. Just took a little coaxing to get that one through there. Okay, so there's one of our green bohos. I'm going to thread on one of these sparkly guys. I love these. Those are so cool. Okay, and actually let's do two. Might as well. More is more. Good morning, Eve. How are you? All right, and I'm just going to tie an overhanded knot. Okay. And then I'm just going to continue kind of alternating sides. I want one of these bohos. These were some of my favorite beads from the entire box, and I almost did not add these to this necklace. I really had my mind set on creating earrings out of these, but I don't know. I think they're going to look pretty good in this necklace. So all right, so one of the bohos. Hi Rita, welcome in. How are you doing this morning? How is everyone doing this morning? Did everybody get good sleep last night? All right, I'm going to thread on one of these miracle beads, maybe. Some of the smaller beads, even the 0.5 cord is a little big for. So these guys, they may not fit, and I don't want to struggle too much with it. So let's add one of these. Well, I might not be able to get through these either. It's all right though. The cord, the 0.5 millimeter cord goes through almost everything. So there we go. And it does help if you cut the end of your cord at an angle. That will kind of help you to thread on. Let's do ours. So I'm just using my cutter tool to kind of cut the very end of that so that I've got a nice little point. Sometimes that helps. Thread on one of these metal beads, okay, and bring all of those together, and let's tie a knot. Okay, and over to the other side, just kind of alternating as we go. I'm going to thread on, I love these, so beautiful. So let's thread one of those on, and what else shall we add? Let's add a wooden bead. I'm going to change things up a little bit. Okay, bring all of those together. Some of them I've got 2 beads on, some of them I've got 3 in our little groupings. It really is just up to you how you want to put your beads on. If you want a lot of beads in your little sections or a ton of beads. I'm really kind of trying to space mine out as much as I can though, because I do know that we're going to do this a second time. So I want to be sure that I have enough beads to take up two little strands, if you will. All right, so there's that one, and what else should I use? Use another one of these because these are really pretty. I love all of the warm metallics that are in this Magical Mystery Bead Box. Oh, thank you, Eve. I appreciate that. Just kind of working back and forth here. Oh, dropped my cord down in the floor. All right, let's add one of the squares. I love a square bead. I don't know what it is about a square bead, but they are so different and fun. I think it's just because circles and kind of oval shapes are so expected, right, with beads. And so to have a cool square bead to like throw in the mix, I love that. I really do. Some of the check glass beads are not, well, no, maybe. Some of the check glass beads are not quite, the holes are not quite big enough. That one was almost. Let's try one of these. No, I know that one definitely won't. I feel like we already tried that one once already. Like I said, coffee hasn't quite kicked in this morning, so just bear with me. How long is the leather, Suzanne? Well, to be completely honest with you, I'm not exactly sure. I think I started out with 2 3-foot sections. I didn't measure because I have misplaced the world's weirdest ruler. And so I did not have the opportunity to get a good measure on this morning, so I apologize, but it was a wingspan, so I'm going to say, well, half a wingspan, so I'm going to say they were about 3-foot pieces, but you can't quote me on that. That's really just kind of a guess. All right, now let's put another, should we? Yeah, let's do another one of the wooden beads. And we'll do one of these kind of galaxy beads. And what else shall we use? We'll use 2 galaxy beads. Okay, so I'm getting close to the end over here on one side, and yes, I realize that we haven't filled the entire thing up with beads quite yet, but that's because we do need a section of our cord. I'm going to leave quite a bit, actually. We could add one more little bundle of beads to this and probably have enough, but I want to show you guys more than anything the square knot technique to make this an adjustable style necklace. So let me do one more little bundle over here on this side, and then we're going to repeat this whole process with another bit of leather cord, and we're going to put the 2 together, and I'll show you how we combine those. All right, so here's one more bundle. Wanda says, I love Swarovski cubes. I don't know why, but I hoard the cubes, right? There's something about a square bead. I don't know what it is. A square bead, a cube bead. There is just something about them that I'm glad to know I'm not the only one. Okay, so we've got, if I had to guess, we've got at least 12 inches of beaded section here. And if you're going to do this on your own, you'd probably want to go ahead and do at least 14 inches of beads before you move on to the next step. So that would probably mean you would need to do at least one more grouping of beads on either side, but we're just going to move on because I don't want to keep you guys here all day doing the exact same thing over and over again. So this is section 1. Now we're going to do section 2 the exact same way, and I am just going to get some more of my metallic cord out here, you guys. And this is Kansa. So this is available over on the Jessie James Beads website. And this is just one of several colors that are available. Susan says, be on the lookout for for 11, which is my ruler. You guys, this is the weirdest ruler ever. For those of you who don't know, I have an 11-inch ruler, and it's just the weirdest. So I have my 2 strands of leather. I found the middle. I'm going to come over to the side of the middle off center and tie an overhanded knot. I don't know why, but I like to build my necklaces like this from the center out. You don't have to. You can start at one end if you want, but you want to leave yourself plenty of leather at the end, or cord, whatever kind of cord you're using. So leave yourself at least 9 inches of cord on both ends. Okay. And so again, we're kind of starting here in the middle. So I want to add gorgeous beads to this. All of them. I'm using one of the really beautiful boho beads, and I'm going to use 2 of these kind of copper colored beads, and then bring that together and tie an overhanded knot. Lana says we'll be dusting Sarah's craft area for prints. Well, you're gonna, as you dust, I don't care if you get prints or not, just come dust the area. There are cookie crumbs, there are sandwich crumbs. So you're gonna be dusting for a lot more than fingerprints, I can tell you that. You're gonna be cleaning up a mess for me. And glitter, there's glitter and a little bit of everything when it comes to dusting the area. All right, so just adding some more beads. And bringing all of those together. If you're going to dust for prints, I definitely encourage you to vacuum as well. A little vacuuming, yeah, I don't know, you might find the ruler vacuuming. I doubt it, but let's just say that it's possible so that somebody vacuums. Nobody likes to vacuum my office, and that's because there are little pieces of wire and beads that the carpet has eaten all over the floor, and whoever has to come in here and vacuum, you know, we take turns as a family. There's 5 of us here, so we try to take turns with the vacuuming. And you know, one of the rules is before you vacuum the area, pick up whatever you can see, you know. And nobody, including me, nobody wants to get down in the floor and pick up all the little pieces of wire. Nobody. And I can't blame the rest of the family, because even I don't want to do it. But I don't know how the floor around your around your work area looks, but mine's full of beads and pieces of wire. All right, so I'm just continuing on as we chit chat here, just threading on beads, because I feel like we're just kind of doing the same repetitive thing. We're just threading on little groups of beads on each one of the cords, and then bringing the little bundles together. And I see a request to show my bracelet. I will here in just a second. Let's get some more beads on here, so I'll show you. So there's my bracelet. Just a really easy pattern, you guys, with some check glass beads and these kind of chevron shaped beads. It was really just easy stringing. So I don't remember where I got the pattern from. I didn't create it. It was a free pattern I think I found on Pinterest. And I just had the beads, so I was like, why not? Why not? Okay, so with this one, I do want to make this one bundle bigger, or longer rather, than the first one, so that we do kind of have a little bit of a tiered look to our necklace when we get finished. So we'll be kind of checking out here. So it looks like we've got maybe 3 more little bundles to do, and then we'll be good to go. Whoops. Maggie says, Maggie, I feel your pain. She says, I have issues, tiny wire bits shooting off into space, never to be found again. Right? Me too. And I struggle with that, and I try so hard to have like good wire manners, so that when I cut wire, I kind of cover it with my finger to keep it from flying all over the place. But the truth is, I forget, right? I forget. And so, yeah, I have pieces of wire bits that just go flying all over the place. Anita says, I can't do random like that. I have to do uniform. Yeah, well, I gotta tell you, if I'm being completely honest about this necklace, it is very difficult for me to create a random design. It's very hard for me to not fall into creating a pattern and making it symmetrical on either side. I have to really, really pay attention to what I'm doing and remind myself not to pick up not to pick up the same beads on either side. It is very difficult for me to be random like that. But I'm trying. All right, let's lay this out next to our others. We've got a couple more little bundles to make here, and then we will we will move on. Sherry says it's like losing beads in the carpet, gone into the vortex. Yes, I would agree with that. So there are some things that I just let the carpet have, and maybe I shouldn't be that way, but I just can't help it. There are some beads, some little small, particularly seed beads, that if the carpet gets them, the carpet can keep them. Like, I'm not going to get down there and dig around for a seed bead. But let me tell you, I've learned from experience that choice, it never fails to come around and bite me in the end, because I will be in a situation where I need 1 or 2 more of those beads to finish a design, and I will remember, you know what, I lost those in the carpet and I didn't go after them. So the struggle is real. The struggle is real. Leaving them to the carpet vortex is not always the best option, but it happens. It happens. All right, so I'm getting really close to using up all of my little beads here, and we've still got a little bit more of this to go. So let's see here. I need 2 more bundles on this end over here. So let's do 2 more real quick, and then we are going to put all of this together. And if you guys are familiar, I'm kind of running out of choices because a lot of these beads have very small holes. Oh, we got lucky with that one. So if you guys are familiar with the square knot, that is what we are going to do to make our necklace here adjustable. And I'm actually going to cut some, I'm going to get some hemp to do that with. I kind of recommend doing it with the same leather that you've got, but it doesn't look like I've got enough left over to do that. So we're gonna use some hemp, which is actually going to help you to see. Put that going the other direction. It's going to really kind of help you to see the technique over the top of the leather. So just have to grab some of that out of the drawer. All right, I just need one more little bead to fit. Come on, anybody? Some of them you get lucky with. Nope. Nobody wants to play. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, this is our last little bundle. Just gonna knot this together. So now when we bring this together, you can see how it's going to be tiered because one of them is just a bit longer than the other. Let me move all of this out of the way so that we don't knock everything into the floor. Okay, and now we're ready to put this together. I'm going to reach back here, you guys. Give me just a second. I have to unattach myself from the desk and grab some hemp. Now, like I said, I'm going to use hemp for this just to kind of show you, but you definitely can do this with the leather so that it all matches. Okay, so we've got long ends here on the end, right? We've got lots of pieces. We've got 4 on this side and 4 on the other side. And I'm going to use the tying station for this, but you don't have to. Okay, you absolutely can just glue this down, or not glue this, tape this down to a work surface, or use a safety pin, or whatever you want to use. I'm going to use the tying station just because I have it and it's handy. So I'm going to take the cords, bringing my 2 groups together. Okay, just the ends of 2 of the strands. Okay, so I don't have the entire bundle here, just have one bundle. Well, it's the 2 strands. You understand what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to lay that on the tying station. Okay, and then I'm going to take the other end. Actually, let me show you. So the tying station, this bottom piece, you can slide this up, right? You can slide this up, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to take one end this direction, okay, and then the other end of the bracelet, we're going to go this direction. So I'm going to slide that bundle underneath and up here. So I've got one grouping going one way and one grouping going the other way. Okay, and it looks like a mess until I get it secured on the tying station. Let me just get this back on here, and then I'll kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see what I've got going on here. Just need to get everything secured first. And it's kind of fussy here in the beginning, like no jokes about that. Okay, but you want one end of your necklace going one direction and the other end's going the other direction. Okay, that's really, really important. Try to pull the slack out of these. Okay, there we go. See how I pulled out a lot of the slack here? Some of those little pieces are still wanting to fight with me though. So if you don't have a tying station to do this with, you can tape the ends down. Okay, I just like the tying station because I can get underneath all of the strands. Okay, so I have all of my strands going here, and I'm going to take a piece of hemp. You can use the leather. And it doesn't take a lot of this to do this. So we're going to take our strand of hemp. I've got about 2 feet here, which is really overkill. You guys know I always cut more than I need. I'm going to take my hemp and I'm going to go underneath all of those strands, okay? And I'm just going to kind of find the middle of the hemp, okay? And I'm going to tie a square knot, and a square knot happens in 2 sections, okay? You do the right-handed side and then you do the left-handed side. So we're going to take this right-handed cord and we're going to create a P shape over the top of all of our leather pieces here, okay? I'm going to take my finger and kind of hold that down. We're going to take our left-handed strand of hemp, okay? It's going across this cord that we just took across here, right? It's going over the top. We're going to go underneath all of the pieces of leather and up through that P shape that we made over here on the right-handed side, okay? And then when we pull, we've got the first half of a square knot, okay? So we've just bundled all of our pieces together. Okay, now we want to repeat that, and it's going to look a lot easier this time because now that I've got the hemp secured, okay, it'll make more sense. It won't be such a hot mess. So now we're going to repeat it, but we're going to start on the left-handed side. So we're taking our cord, our hemp cord on the left, and creating a P shape, this backwards P shape, okay, and our hemp is going across the top of all of those strands of leather. Now we're going to pick up our right-handed cord. It goes over the top of the hemp. Definitely make sure you're going over the top of the hemp, but you want to go underneath all of your bundles of leather and then up through that P shape that you created on the left-handed side, and you want to pull that tail through, okay? So now when you pull, whoops, I kind of undid that first knot. Tighten that back up. When you pull, you now have a full square knot, okay? The square knot happens in 2 steps. All right, now we're just going to repeat that, okay? We're going to do a couple of square knots. We're going to give ourselves a section that's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. You want to give yourself plenty of room here of the hemp and the square knots. So P shape on the right, going across. Our left-handed strand is going to go underneath the leather cord and up through the P shape that we created on the right-handed side and pull. That's step 1, okay? Step 2 is just repeating in the opposite direction. So left-handed strand making the P shape, right-handed strand is going to go underneath everything and up through that P shape that we created and then pull, okay? I'm not pulling super tight because I want all of my cords inside the knot to be able to slide, okay? That's what's going to make this entire necklace adjustable. All right, so we're just going to repeat on the right. Uh-oh. Okay. And pull, and now we're going to do the same thing on the left, and you have to do both sides, okay, to get a nice flat square knot. If you don't and you just continue doing the same thing on the right side or the same thing on the left side, you're going to get a spiral, and that is a cool looking knot, but it is not a friendly knot to use when you're trying to make something adjustable. So just keep that in mind. You want to alternate. You want to do the right and then the left, the right and then the left, okay? So I'm just going to work up a section here. Okay. And like I said, you want to give yourself a decent amount here. Okay, you want to do 1.5 to 2 inches at the very least of the square knots over the cords. And I think the hemp helps you to see the knots, but if I were doing this on my own, I would do this whole square knot section with the matching leather cord that I made the necklace out of. Okay, so if you're not a fan of the way that this looks, just remember that I would recommend doing this in the same color, or at the very least doing it in a color that goes well with the rest of your necklace. All right, so you could do a different color leather if you wanted to. Okay, so now when we work up a good amount of space of the square knots, we will have to find a way to end our hemp. Okay, and I'm going to use a little bit of glue. I'm talking about the very, very smallest amount of glue possible. And I actually probably will not use it. I'll show you where to put it though. Okay. Okay, so I'm good with that. We've got a good little section of the square knots here. And I'm going to take this off of the tying station. I'm just going to take the entire necklace and let it be loose. Okay. And I haven't cut my hemp or anything else just yet. Okay. All right, so the first thing that we need to take care of is the hemp. So I'm going to flip it over to what I consider the back of our little section here, and I'm just going to take the 2 ends of the hemp and I'm just going to tie an overhanded knot and pull that knot down to the surface of our work, right? Just like that. And I haven't doubled this. I would take a little bit, I'll grab it, I may as well, I've got it. Why not use it? So I like to use the GS HYPO Cement for this because it has this little precision tip. If you're going to use E6000 or anything else, I definitely recommend using it on the end of a toothpick. You just want the tiniest amount of glue, and you only want it on the knot, because if you get this on your leather cord and you let it dry, you've glued all your cords together and it's no longer going to be adjustable, and you definitely don't want that. So I'm just using the very, very tiniest amount on that knot. And then I'm going to tie one more right over the top of that, just an overhanded knot right down on top of the glue. Okay, just like that. And again, just the very, very tiniest amount, only on the hemp or whatever cord you've used here, okay? And you want to let that dry. While that is setting up a little bit, let's talk about the ends of our pieces of leather. So our ends are free. And I don't like having free ends because that means that I have the opportunity for these to slip through our little section here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of my leather cords and I just want to tie a knot in the end. Okay. You can add beads here if you want to make a little beaded dangle if you want, but a simple overhanded knot is going to be perfect. That's going to be enough to keep your strands from sliding through. And of course you can trim all that off. You don't have to have all that excess cord left behind. Okay, so I'm going to do that with all of the ends on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and do the ends on the other side. Kind of move everything out of the way a little bit here. And you can trim these up, you don't have to leave them long, but just remember that the longer these pieces are, the more adjustability your necklace is going to have. Okay, so if you cut these too short, you're only going to be able to adjust the necklace to the length that you have cut your ends of the leather cord. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and trim my ends. I'm not going to cut these right up next to the glue just yet because it hasn't dried long enough. So I'm just going to cut it like that. And after a while, when the glue has set up, I will cut it shorter. Okay, so now what do we have? This is the back of our necklace, and because we didn't create our knots super tight, however, mine is a little on the tight side. You're gonna have to wiggle, right? But you see how I can pull the strands on either side? And there's no hardware needed. So now my necklace is adjustable. I don't have to have a clasp or anything like that. And I can fit this, I can fit this over my head and then pull on the ends to tighten it up to make it whatever length I want it to be. So let me show you that, okay? I'm gonna put it on the bust so you can kind of see. We'll talk about the front and the back of this, and then I will let you guys go for the day. So give me just a second. I realize you're not really looking at anything interesting at the moment. I apologize. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn you around. Okay, so let me show you, because I know seeing this on a flat surface is, you know, it's like it's difficult to understand. Oh, got it. Made a mess, sorry. Okay, so see how we've got plenty of length here. I've got my ends. I can pull on those ends, right, to tighten up my necklace and make it short. And you can do that once you've got it on. So you put it over your head. Here's the front of the necklace. You've got all of the gorgeous beads from our Magical Mystery Bead Box. You've got tons of sparkle, lots and lots going on. But then on the back here, you can adjust it just by pulling on either end to shorten it up, or you can pull on the ends that are not free, right? And you've adjusted it lengthwise. And again, I know you may not love all of the fringe here. Mine needs to be kind of trimmed up and evened up, but the fringe is necessary at least as long as you want to make your necklace. So if you have a necklace that fully adjusted is 20 inches, then tighten it up to 16 inches and make sure that you've got that, at least that amount of space with your little fringe dangles here, right? Before you trim any of them off and make them short. And of course, if you don't like the adjustable look, you don't have to use that. You can do this exact same design and just put a clasp on the back of this. I just wanted to show you this technique because I love jewelry that is adjustable, particularly when it comes to selling jewelry. It opens up a large variety of customer sizes, and this exact same technique can be used in bracelet form as well. So instead of using a clasp, you can use this exact same technique and have an adjustable bracelet, which is going to fit a larger, you know, section of your customer base. So just a little something extra to go with your gorgeous bead. I could look at this necklace all day. Like, I'm not even joking. These beads are gorgeous. So, all right, there you go. I'm going to take some beauty shots of this so we can post this online for you guys to see it. You guys, those beads are amazing. Yes, Mary says adding beads to the ends of the cords at the back would be really pretty. It would be really pretty, and had I had an extra little bit of beads, I would have done that. I'm gonna kind of clean up the back a little bit. I just wanted to show you the technique. I am gonna clean it up. I'll take pictures of the front and the back so that you can see them up close. And all of that will be posted over on the Jessie James Beads blog so that you can always refer back to that, and you can come back and watch this project more than once if you need to see the steps. You know, you can slow it down, speed it up, rewind, all of that good stuff that you can't necessarily do during the live. So highly, highly recommend checking that out. There's tons of inspiration there. So all of our past projects are there as well if you have not had the opportunity to check it out. Speaking of the blog, that is also a really great resource for checking out all of the information that you're going to need. All of the information that you're going to need in conjunction with the Jessie James Beads Summer Camp. So if you haven't signed up yet and you're interested in the summer camp and don't really understand all of the many facets of what that week is going to be, then check out the blog, because it has a full rundown of all of the things included in your kit of goodies that you're going to get, as well as the classes, who's teaching, what's being taught, and all of the information that you need to enjoy your virtual Jessie James Beads Summer Camp. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. I will not see you guys again today, but don't forget that at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, you can catch a very special live with Sarah James and Meredith Roddy talking about Jessie James Beads Summer Camp and Meredith's experiences as an actual summer camp counselor, which I can't wait to hear about. And then you guys can catch an extra special additional Facebook Live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here with me to do another project with one of the new California road trip bead mixes. So I will see you guys again before I see you again next week. All right, have a great afternoon. I will see you guys soon. Bye.